Hi, I'm Sally, and I'm one of the instructors at the Westside Y in El Paso, and I'm going to be doing a little demo of some Pilates exercises that you can do using a chair. We're going to do some of them standing and some of them seated, as I'm starting right now. And Pilates exercises are designed to strengthen the core, and the core is everything from your hips to your shoulders. So we'll be doing some exercises, obviously, for our stomach, but also for our back, and remembering that our muscles in our side body are also part of our core, and strengthening some hips and doing some stretching and mobility also for our shoulders. So we're going to start seated on the chair. And first of all, please don't do any exercises that don't work for your body. You should never experience any pain, and please always listen to what your doctor might say. So listen to your body and use your best judgment. So seated in a chair, I want to make sure your feet are hip-width apart and that your feet are flat on the ground. You want to be sitting up nice and tall, so no slouching. We want to sit up nice and tall, pull those abdominal muscles, not so much in, but up and in. So we're as nice and tall as we can be. We're going to just start by rolling those shoulders backwards, bringing them slightly forward, lifting them up by your ears, and then dropping them back and out. So we're getting a nice rounding them backwards. And then stopping with our arms by the sides of our body, we're going to take a nice inhale up and an exhale out. And you're going to hear me breathe a lot through class. The more you can breathe and use your breath, the more you will actually base and strengthen that core. Let's do 3 more. Inhale and exhale. 2 more. Inhale and 1 more. Inhale and exhale. Nice. We're going to separate those feet just a little bit wider. Take your hands on your thighs just above your knees and hinge over just a little bit, maybe 10, 15 degrees, just enough that I can pull that navel point in like I'm an angry cat rounding my back, and then flatten that back out. I'm going to exhale as I round, inhale as I flatten. I'm going to show you from the side. Exhale and inhale. And inhale. 1 more. This next one, you're going to sit all the way back up and give another couple of shoulder rolls back. Should be feeling good. Let's take those hands in front, interlace them, and you can have your palms facing towards you, or if your shoulders and arms hands don't mind, you can face the palms away from you, but we're going to pull those arms away from us and open up those shoulder blades in our back. So again, we're going to use our breath. We're going to inhale, and then exhale, we're going to stretch out, separating those shoulder blades. Inhale, pull them back in. Exhale, good. So from the side, it looks like this. Inhale, exhale. I'm also tightening and bracing that stomach at the same time. 1 more. Nice. Now we're going to counterbalance that with a chest opener. So we're going to take our arms up into what I call a goal post, or kind of like an I surrender position. And those elbows could be up high or they can drop down a little bit, not important. But what is important is that we keep those ribs together and the stomach nice and tight. And we're just going to gently press back and forward. Gently press back and release forward. We exhale and forward. 3 more. Good. 2 more. Last one. And release. Good. Drop them down by your side. Our last warm-up stretch we're going to do. We're going to take both arms overhead. And again, it doesn't matter if they're all the way up or they're partially up. And we're going to keep ourselves very much grounded into the chair with our hips down. And we're just going to reach like we're climbing a rope, or better yet, like reaching for something on that upper higher shelf. We just almost can reach. So that stretch is coming out of your side body, stretching down even and down into the hips. Good. And these beginning stretches are something you might want to do like first thing in the morning, just to kind of get the body going. Good. 1 more on each side. And release. Nice. So our first exercise is called hundreds. And the reason it's called hundreds is you're going to do 100 reps. So it sounds like a lot, but it really isn't so bad. We're going to take our right leg and place the heel on the floor just slightly in front. And our goal here is to keep our stomach from our head to our hips completely still. And while we do that, we're going to vigorously pump our arms. So our goal is to stabilize and hold that torso nice and still. If you'd like, you can slightly lift that foot off the ground, but you don't have to. And we're going to inhale 5, exhale 5. So here we go. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale 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 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a little break, switch to the other leg, and we inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. 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 And relax. Should be 100 if I counted right. So our next exercise is called a single leg stretch. And we're going to start again with that right leg just slightly in front, heels still on the floor. And we're going to use the stomach. So the leg is going to lift, but that's not the goal of using the leg. It's to use the abdominals, keep them tight. So I'm going to barely lift that leg up and use that stomach to lift it a little higher and switch. I'm keeping that back nice and tall, pulling that navel point into the spine every time I lift. Good. 2 more each side. 1 more each side. And relax. Nice. All right, let's do something, a little rotation work, or actually side bend body work. We're going to take those arms back to that I surrender or goalpost position. And again, the elbows don't have to be high. We're going to keep ourselves nice and still. And we're just going to tilt that body over to the right just slightly and back up and to the left. You want to think about being nice and tall through the top of your head. This is sometimes called a marionette. So you think about a marionette has a string to the top of their head, and then you're adjusting their body side to side. And we're going to use that breath again. And center. So all those nice side body muscles so that we reach for something. We've got a lot of nice stretch or strength there. You're in the car and you drop your keys down on the side of your seat and you've got to reach down for them. These are the muscles we're strengthening. You've got 2 more on each side. 1 more each side. And relax. Nice. Okay, our next one is called a spine stretch. And we're going to lay our hands out in front as if like your hands are lying on like a counter. And they're going to stay at that height the entire time. And so I'm going to inhale, and the exhale, I'm going to reach those arms forward, but at the same time, I'm going to pull that stomach back, almost as if somebody's going to punch me in the stomach. But my arms are going to still stay at that counter level. I'm going to show you from the side. So I inhale, I exhale, pull back with my stomach as I reach with my arms and come back up. We want to be careful not to lift our shoulders while we do it. So the work is all happening in the torso. Nice. You've got 3 more. 2 more. Good. 1 more. And relax. Nice. Let's do another rotation. So this time we're going to take our arms facing each other, the palms, and the arms are out in front, kind of at shoulder height, but they can be a little lower, and the arms can be bent a little bit depending on how you're feeling. So we're going to stay here. We're going to inhale. On the exhale, we're going to pull that elbow back like we're pulling back on a bow and arrow and rotate our body to the side, but our hips are going to stay facing the front and come back on an inhale. We exhale, other side. Oh, it's my dog barking. How many of you have dogs? 3 more each side, really pulling back, feeling that rotation. Again, always mind what your doctor may have said about rotation, feeling the work in the muscles, not really by pulling back on the bones, but feeling the muscles wrap around your body. And I think that was 3 more. Let's release those down. Good. Now we're going to transition to some standing work. So we're going to come and stand behind the chair. I'm going to stand to the right of it. And I always have the chair there, even if I think balance is pretty good. You know, some days it's good and some days I need a little help. So I always want the chair there for assistance. So I stand kind of off to the back side of it. And I'm going to stand with my feet hip width apart, weight evenly distributed between both feet. And I'm going to feel those stomach muscles, again, pulling in and up, as if you took a big zipper, like a wetsuit or a speed skater outfit, and you zip that zipper right up the front, and it's nice and neat and braced. And then on purpose, I'm going to shift my weight, not into my hip, but just shift my weight over to my left foot so that I've kind of freed the weight off of this right one. And again, I can hold on to the chair a little bit or very lightly, but we don't want to grip and hold on to it. Just a nice touch. We're going to put our right hand on our hip and just slide that right leg out to the side and in and out and in, feeling that left hip muscle, that glute in the back, doing all the work. You have 4 more, and in, and 3. If you feel like it, you can lift that leg fully off the ground if you'd like. 2 more, and last one. Good. Now we're going to take that same leg slightly to the front and slightly to the back. I'll show you from the side. I go front and back, and front and back, front and back, and front, keeping that so nice and still. So I'm asking those hip muscles and glute muscles to do all the work. At the same time, I'm stabilizing with my stomach and my back. Give me 1 more. We're going to hold that leg to the back. I'll show you from the side. And we're just going to curl that leg up with a flex foot and put it down. Now, it doesn't matter if you can pick up that foot a lot or a little. The important part, we're squeezing those muscles, they're called hamstrings, right in the back of that lifted leg. So we're going to do 4 more. Lift and down. So maybe it's just barely leaving the floor. Maybe it's coming all the way up. It doesn't matter. 2 more. Good. Last one. And relax. All right, we're going to shift over to the side. You probably were feeling that more in your left hip than your right, and that's very, very normal. So standing to the left of our chair, again, we're going to establish that weight in our feet evenly distributed. Roll the shoulder blades down and back, pull up through our middle, lightly touch the chair, shift our weight over to the right leg, just slightly, pulling in and up on that outside hip, and we slide that leg out and in and out and in. Good. Keeping that breath going. Breath always helps. Remember, every time we exhale, you can put a hand on that stomach and feel it get tighter, or you can put the hand on the hip to keep those hips nice and stable. I think 2 more. Good. Now let's go front and back. Front and back and front and back, keeping everything still as it can be. Good. So in Pilates, this work for your core, often the work is more in what is not moving than what is moving. So we're stabilizing and pulling in that right leg more than we're working the left, even though we are working the left some. Hold that left leg to the back. We're going to flex foot and we're going to kick it up and down. Again, it can barely leave the floor or it can come all the way up. Good. Hand on the hip. And we have 4 more. 4 and 3, 2, last one. Good. Let's go back to the right side. And again, we're going to stand even weight, shift our weight over to the left, come to the ball of the toe on that right foot. So our foot is still touching the floor on the right side. Pull up on that hip and see if maybe you can very, very lightly touch that chair. Or maybe you can take your hand off the chair. Good. Put your hand back on the chair. Can you lift the foot all the way up? Pull in and up through your stomach. Tighten your hips. You can lightly touch the chair or let go. And put it back down. Let's try the left side. So this is a good thing to do in the morning, maybe when you're brushing your teeth. Practice standing on one foot. But do it very intentionally. Standing even weight, Shifting your weight over to one foot, picking it up to the ball of the foot, kind of feeling how that feels, ready to pull up through your torso, holding on if necessary or very lightly, and then maybe trying to pick that foot up. If you find you lift it up and you're falling all over the place, go back to putting the foot on the floor. Baby steps. Good. Release it. Now we're going to stand behind the chair. I'm going to stand off to the side, but I want you behind the chair with both hands on, at least to start with. So I'm going to show you from the side so you can see me. My feet are parallel to one another. And all I'm going to do is, first of all, hold on. I'm going to lift my heels off the ground and come back down. So I'm going to feel that shift of weight as I lift and lower. Good. Heels and toes in the same direction. And I'm just going to lift and lower and lift. Lower if you feel like you can hold on less, great. If you still need a good hold on the chair, that's fabulous as well. Let's come up and hold it. Feel the work in those calves. Feel the stomach pulling up. Everything's working. You have that stretch through the top of your head. Can you let go? Maybe. Come back down and relax. Now we're going to do the same exact thing, but we're going to turn our feet into a V. It's called a Pilates V, but it really just has the heels together and the toes apart. And the exact same exercise. We're going to lift up on the toes and drop the heels, and lift on the toes and drop the heels. You can feel a whole lot of work happening. My glutes, my rear end is tightening. My stomach is pulling in and up. My head has a string attached to the top of it. Can I come up and hold? Sure. Check your hand. Are you holding it? Are you gripping it? Lighten your grip. Maybe it's just a fingertip. Maybe you can let go. Come back down. Nice. Let's come back and sit down. And part of working the core in Pilates is strength, but it's also stretching. So we're going to do just a couple stretches just to stretch the body. So we're going to start again sitting on the chair, forward enough that our feet are flat on the floor. And we're going to take our right hand and hold on to the chair. We're going to press that left hip down into the chair so we don't tip and lose our balance. We're going to take that left arm up as much as it wants to go. Take a nice inhale and then reach over to the side. Again, I don't want to fall off the chair, so I'm going to push that left hip firmly down into the chair and just stretch over. That left arm can even fall over your head. It doesn't matter. We're trying to get a good stretch down the arm, into the body, down into the hip. Very nice. Let's lift up and do the exact same thing to the left. Hold on to the chair with the left hand. Push that right hip down. Keep it down as you lift up and over. Should feel good. Nice. Come back up center. Now we're going to take those legs just a little wider than we did before. Hands on our thighs, again, above our knees. Hinge slightly over, and we're going to round up like that angry cat. And then flatten out. Exhale, pull up. This one should feel really good. If you ever have any low back tension in the middle of the day or when you wake up in the morning, anytime, this is a really good stretch. I'll show you from the side. Just stretch up and come forward and up. And for this time, come all the way back up to a seated position. Roll those shoulders back and up and down, always rolling backwards and opening up. So I have one more stretch for our leg and our hip because we did work those. We're going to take our left hand and hold onto the back of the chair with that left hand as we turn our body to that left side. We're going to drop that right leg straight down. And I'm sitting kind of half on that chair. And all I'm going to do is lean back just a little bit, enough that I feel a stretch through that thigh up into that hip. And you can lean back as much or little as you want, just so you feel that nice stretch. And release it. Let's turn to the other side. So now I'm going to take my right hand, hold on to the back of the chair with the right hand, let the left knees drop straight down from my hip, and lean just back slightly. Stretches should feel good. They shouldn't hurt. You should feel the stretch, but never go to any point that you experience any pain. Beautiful. Come back to the center, sitting on that chair with feet flat on the floor. We're going to take that inhale again, reach it up, exhale down. I don't know about you, but I feel taller and stronger. Give me one more. Inhale up, exhale down, and have a beautiful day. And I'll see you next time. Thanks so much. I didn't want to have to sleep.